Hello, beautiful friends, and welcome back to another episode of Journey to Happiness. Today is the day that you want to listen to these episodes. If you have not heard me before now, let me be clear. Today is the day that you want to listen to the whole way through. Okay? And we're going to start off. So, because the reason you need to listen to this is because I'm going to help you feel better. I'm going to give you my exact process on how to feel better in a world full of fucking chaos and, uh, horrible things. And I'm going to help you feel better and understand what I do so that I can feel better, so I don't detour into this fear-based world that we are living in. So, please listen to this. Just bear with me at the beginning because I am going to vent a little bit because we have had some really, really fucking horrible times. And as you can tell, I'm coming to you from my bedroom. If you're looking at the visuals on YouTube, you can see my fan over there and my pictures because I am coming to you from my bedroom. I just feel like laying on my bed and I'm trying to fix the lighting because it's not very good, but so why am I going to vent? Well, because we had a fucking terrible thing happen to us last week. And I don't care if you believed with his views or not, because I absolutely disagreed on certain things. But yes, we're going to talk about Charlie Kirk for a minute, because if somebody can get gunned down for their beliefs, for having a voice for Americans, for having a voice for themselves, then anything can fucking happen, right? Yes, I might use the F bomb a little bit more tonight than usual because I've been pretty pissed the last week. And that's why we're here, because I'm going to help you not be so pissed and not want to punch a hole through the damn wall, right? Um, okay, because it's sad. Because it is so fucking tragic that somebody can't even speak the things that they want to speak without fear of retribution. And that's fucked up, right? It's fucked up. And Charlie Kirk was a man who is very well known in political circles. Obviously, he was speaking on right-wing values, but I think what people don't understand is the fact that he was not just speaking on right wing values, because it wasn't a political discussion anymore. He pivoted, right? Like, so he might have been speaking like that at first, but he pivoted into trying to bring people to God and to Christ. And again, I am not somebody who believes with every single freaking thing that he said. Sorry, this lighting, it sucks. I'm sorry, guys. But I just, for me, this podcast started out as I know I'm going to jump all over the place too, but just bear with me, please. I'm going to give you some really cool tips at the end. But this podcast started out for me as a way to just show people the journey I was going through and to help people along the way. That was my whole goal. And, you know, but also giving myself a voice, I guess. Like, it's been really fucking cool because I've been doing this since the beginning of the year, and it's now September, and I've been very consistent. I've been putting out episodes every Monday, and I believe that these episodes will land with the people they're supposed to land with, and I believe that this podcast will reach the people it's supposed to reach. So I hope if you are here, like, believe me, you are supposed to be here. Like, this is your time, and this is the time that we all need to come together. So, back to the Charlie Kirk thing. Like, again, I'm giving myself a voice as well as so many other God-fearing women. Not God-fearing, because it's not a fear. We shouldn't be afraid, because God is such a loving God, and like, we should not be afraid. But I guess so I shouldn't use the word God-fearing women, but it's like, you know, we all need to come together, I guess is what I'm saying. Because as of right now, we're so divided. We're so divided in thinking that because you have this belief or because you have that belief, that we can't have a conversation, that we can't come together, that we can't look at the things we do have in common, right? Because honestly, we fucking have probably so much more in common than we do that we don't have in common, right? Like we might have like 10% shit that we don't agree with, but the other 90% we might be spot on with. But we don't see that within each other because we're so divided on the 10% that we don't agree with. Who fucking cares, guys? Like, who fucking cares what we don't agree with? Because we don't have to believe in what everybody else says. We don't have to have the same agreements. We don't have to have the same views. Like, you need, obviously, you need a little bit in common with somebody, but like, you can have, there's so much more to us, and the people in power want to divide us. So that's the first thing we have to talk about. Like, should not we should not be fucking killing each other because we have a different view. We should not be harming each other. And I'm so angry. I was so angry about this, and it's been a really rough summer. So I was so angry about this because, again, because Amir was speaking his beliefs. It wasn't because of his views. I mean, again, like I said, I disagreed about certain things, but that didn't matter. When the president was shot at, or the presidential nominee at the time was shot at and almost killed, it was like, I don't mean this to flip or anything like that, but the president has a lot of Secret Service around them for a reason. Uh, it's rare. It's not like we have an attempted assassination every day, but it does happen. It's not a super, there's a reason they have so much security. When a man is shot down and killed for speaking his truth, for speaking about God, for speaking what he believes in, that hits on a whole different level. It really does. So, what I want to give you guys is a way to have faith even in times of darkness, because that has been really the lesson I've learned this year, all through the summer. I mean, I've talked about it. You guys know about my stories. I didn't even think I was going to be able to keep my roof above my head. I didn't think I was going to be able to, keep the car I was driving. I didn't know where my next check was going to come from. But let me tell you something. Like, losing my last job back on June 28th was the best fucking thing that ever happened to me, because it gave me the energy to come out here and talk to you guys and talk to you about how I was able to keep that faith. And then now fast forward to this Charlie Kirk thing, and it's like I feel even more called to let you guys know that you don't have to dip into that fear, and you don't have to be afraid, and you don't have to feel like everything's falling apart. And if you can just keep the faith, like, and understand that God is good, because again, like I think I said this last week on the episode, that most of the things that we fear don't even come true. They don't even come true. So, how do we keep the faith? First of all, I think you guys need to understand that, we're living this temporary human experience, but there's so much greater out there. We're an eternal spiritual being. Like, we really are. And so I need you to understand that. I need you to understand that we choose this life we're going to live. We choose our parents. We choose the people we're going to meet. We choose it all. And it's always for a greater good. And sometimes we don't see it. And that's okay. But we just have to have the faith. So, what do I do every day? How do I keep myself calm in the face of adversity, in the face of fear, in the face of all of the things that are trying to bring us down? The first thing I do, okay, number one, guys, is I don't look at my phone an hour after I wake up or an hour before I go to bed. Now, I might hit my snooze button. Let's be real, I'm not like perfect over here. I might hit my damn snooze button and I might, turn on a good meditation or a specific beat on YouTube to like sleep with, like delta waves and things like that. But I don't look at fucking TikTok. I don't look at Facebook. I don't look at Instagram. I don't look at YouTube unless it's like something like self-help wise or like I said, spirituality. I don't do those things an hour after I wake up or an hour before bed. This is so, so important. Because you never know what your phone is going to give you, right? You might get on Facebook or TikTok or wherever it is, Instagram, any of them. You might get on there thinking, oh, I have a pretty good algorithm. Most of my information I get is from, um, I don't know, spirituality stuff, Tony Robbins, fucking Aaron Dowdy, like one of these like really spiritual, Victor Odo, one of those guys that are like really spiritual. You might think like that's going to be my FYP, that's going to be able to show up. I'm fine to get on my phone. Then you get on your phone and you see that there was another school shooting, or you see that there was somebody who just died because they got in a crash, or you see somebody got assassinated, like we're talking about here. And all of a sudden, that sets the tone for your day or your night. So whether it's in the morning that you see it or nighttime, like, right before bed or right after you wake up, you're in a specific brainwave activity. And I don't remember because there's like a bunch of them. So I don't remember exactly it's whether it's theta, beta, theta. Like I don't remember exactly. So I don't think that takes away from the information I'm sharing with you though. It's one of those. And when you are in that state, that is the best state to be in to program your subconscious mind. So let's think about this. If you are programming your subconscious mind to think about a negative situation that just happened, whether it's somebody being assassinated, whether it's a wreck, somebody just died, there's a riot happening, regardless of what it is, like you don't have control over what your phone gives you. And that could be something on social media, and that could be something, a message somebody sends you, right? So the point is, don't look at your damn phone an hour before you wake up or after you wake up, and an hour after before you go to bed. Okay. Number one, like, please don't do that. The second thing is clearing your mind. Clearing your mind of any negative emotions. And how do you do this? Well, you do a meditation. There are so many meditations on YouTube. There are meditations. I mean, you can just find them anywhere. There's free meditations everywhere. YouTube is kind of the go-to for that, but you can find them fucking anywhere, okay? When you first wake up in the morning, before you go to bed at night, you're going to sit there and you're going to calm your mind. I don't give a shit if it's only 5 minutes, okay? And the other thing is, I don't want to hear the excuse that your brain won't shut down. You can't meditate because your thoughts are just going a million miles per hour. Yeah, it's called the ego. Yes, it's called whatever it's called, okay? Yes, it sucks. This is a trick that I learned a long time ago and it really helped me. You have to become present to those thoughts. So when you start to meditate and you're calming your mind and you're feeling the grounded energy, like going from the roots of your feet into the ground, and you're feeling like super alive, and then the thoughts start to, and oh, well, how am I going to pay my electric bill next month? Well, how am I going to make dinner, for dinner next week? How, any of the things that start to run through your mind, like, oh gosh, I gotta work tomorrow, and like I have all this stuff to do, whatever it is. As soon as you have to recognize them, be aware, pay attention to your thoughts. Huh, that was a weird thought. I wonder what this is trying to tell me. Become curious with your thoughts. What are your thoughts telling you? Because there's usually a reason Why are you having these thoughts and why are they surfacing now? Probably because your ego wants to keep you safe. And how does it do that? Well, it keeps you from stepping into the unknown, right? So become aware of those. If you just sit in silence for 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, and I mean when I say in the morning and at night, within a half an hour of waking up and as you're falling asleep at night. That is, and 5 minutes is all you need. If you can do 10, then do 10. And I promise you, the thoughts will become less and you will start to feel so peaceful. Okay. Second step there. What's next? This one's so easy, but it's the one that we miss all the time. You gotta talk to God. You gotta do it. You don't have to use the word God, okay? You don't have to. Universe, God, source, it's all the same. But what are you going to do? How do you talk to God? How do you get on this path of just having a conversation? Because it's really hard to have a conversation with something that you can't see, right? And you're trying to picture it and you're like, is it a man? Is it a woman? Like, what do they look like? You know, all the things. I mean, I've been there. You know, I've grown up believing in God, believing in Jesus, believing in the stories I hear, but, as throughout life, I would talk to God. I used to talk to God when something would be, wrong, or I would have to pray about something, pray for a miracle, things like that. But then, you know, I I had this awakening, and recently I've been talking to God a lot. And that's the next step here with the meditation, after the meditation or before the meditation that you do. You can do either one here. You have a conversation with God. To me, God is just a big ball of energy and a big ball of light. That is what I think of when I think of God, but you can think of God however you want. You can think of God as the entire universe. You can think of God as a man, as a woman, as a ball of light, as sunshine. You can think of God as the grass outside. You can think of God however you want to think of God. But how do you have a conversation with this light being of goodness? You talk to it like you would anybody else. I I am always grateful when I wake up in the morning. That's another one of the first things I do. I'm grateful to even wake up in the morning. I'm grateful that I am not like starving to death. I'm grateful that I had food the night before to put in my belly. I am grateful that I have a toilet to take a pee in when I wake up. I am grateful for waking up in my bed. I'm grateful for the water I'm about to drink, or, the toilet paper I'm about to use, or the toothpaste I'm about to use. I am grateful for all of it because I know that a lot of other people have it a lot worse. So I'm grateful for all of that. And I just talk to God like I would a friend. If I need help, I ask for it. But I also just thank him or her, whoever this light being is, for my life. I have an amazing family. And if you don't have an amazing family, that's fine. You can still be grateful for something. You're waking up in the morning. That's something to be grateful for, even if you're waking up in a car, even if you're waking up, you're waking up like you're alive. That is something to be fucking grateful for, guys. Like, and we can never forget that. You can also talk to God about, again, you can ask for help. You can ask about or talk about your worries, like talk about your fears, but just, understand that like somebody is listening to you. Somebody is fucking listening to you. And it's a very miraculous situation here. These are things that I do. Okay. I do this stuff every morning. I wake up every morning and I do this. Um, and then I go about my day. I go to work, I do the things. Anytime that fear starts to creep into my brain, I just remind myself that everything is working out the way it's supposed to work out, whether it's for my highest good, whether it's for the people around me, whether it is for my friends, my family, whatever, it is all working out for my highest good because I know that no matter how much I've worried in the past, like it doesn't change anything. It doesn't help anything. It doesn't change anything. And most of my worries don't come true anyway. It's just my fucking ego trying to run the damn show. And we have to say enough is enough. So, that is something I do. And then I give permission. I give permission for God and my spirit guides to help me on my path. And it's always good to call in, like when you're calling in help from the other side and you're calling in your spirit guides and, your higher self and all the angels around you. It's really important to say with love and light only because you don't want to call anything bad, right? You want to call in all the goodness and I give permission for to be directed. So here's a prayer. I'm going to give you a prayer. This is out of the mind study, A Course in Miracles. We'll talk about it later. If you don't know what it is, hit me up. We can talk about it. But this is the prayer. God, where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say? And to whom? That's it, guys. Ask this question, and I'm telling you, God will direct you to where you are meant to be. Okay. These are the things that I do, and I know they are very, very simple. They're so easy. It's really not hard. It's not, but it's also not easy sometimes. It's not easy to have faith when you don't know how you're going to put food or dinner on the table next week. It's really hard to have faith when every time you turn on the news station, somebody's getting shot, or a church is getting shot up, or a school is getting shot up, or, there's cops driving by 24/7 and you're hearing about gang violence on the roads, or this person overdosing, or that person overdosing. And, when you add in things like, big pharma making us fucking sick, or oh my gosh, all of it. It's not freaking easy to keep the faith. It's not easy to understand that like everything's happening for a reason. But even the Charlie Kirk assassination, let's go back to that for a minute. Even that, you know, if I didn't know Charlie, okay, I didn't know this guy from Adam or Eve. Like I didn't know him, but I did have his stuff show up on my FYP. I did see his information and I know like again he was bringing people to Christ, and I think even the people that knew him would say that Charlie would have given his life tenfold like right now if it meant that he could bring 10 people to Jesus Christ or to God, right? He would have done that. And so, when you look at these situations, you also have to you have to do your best to think on the positive, not toxic positivity, right? You don't want to be toxic, like everything's light and love, and you can't have feelings and whatnot because you're going to have feelings and you're going to feel like the world is falling apart and you're going to feel like, why the fuck would I bring children into this world and how horrible it is, and you're gonna have all of the fears. Your people are dying of cancer, they're dying of overdoses, they're dying of car crashes, like all of the bad shit that happens to us. But you have to try and change it into the positive because if you don't, it will eat you up. And we have to understand that God has put us here for a purpose and everything is happening for a reason. And we need a way to feel better. And so that is why I hope to bring to you. I hope these podcast episodes will help you. I hope that you will take some of my tips and tricks and use them because I do believe that we can feel better. And, we can't do anything, right? We can't do anything we can't do anything about people being killed. We can't do anything about the violence that we see. We can't do anything about big pharma fucking us or the FDA fucking us. We can't do anything about the economy. We can't do anything about that stuff. All we can do is feel better because we are not in control of that stuff, right? Everything is happening around us. We're not in control of that. Um, and but we can control how we react to it. And we can also, our mind is so powerful. We can control, again, how we perceive it. And I just want you guys to feel better. I want to help you. And I don't want us to be so divided anymore. Like, because we are so damn divided and we shouldn't be. We should understand that we are all one with God. And no matter what happens, we are all these spiritual beings living a temporary human experience. And everything we're experiencing here on earth is temporary and it's all a lesson that we have to learn so that we can grow and evolve into the person we are meant to become. So, I hope I didn't go off on too much of a tangent for you guys because I didn't want that to happen, but I just got very passionate. So, if nobody else has told you today, I fucking love you. Like, I love you so much. Let's come together and let's build the life that we want to live and stop letting them win. Okay? Stop letting them win. Because evil never wins, right? Like, it doesn't win. It doesn't. Okay, guys. I love you so much. I will see you next Monday again. Please just, if you like this episode, please leave me a review. I will link my Facebook in here. You are always welcome to message me because the reviews will help people find this podcast. The messages will help me connect with you. And yeah, subscribe too, because then you will find out every time I upload a new podcast, which is every Monday morning at 8 a.m. So I will see you soon. Again, I love you, and I hope you have a marvelous week. Mwah.